Hey YouTubers, I'm going to do a quick video here. If you watched my cloning video, I mentioned in the cloning video I was testing out a homemade fertilizer. And I'm going to show you how to make it. I believe it works pretty good. I'm going to show you the results I've had so far with it, two of which are right here. These are marigolds. Now they're a little late in the year, I got late started, but these were both seeded at the same time, both sprouted at the exact same time. I transplanted them both into the same pots, or same size pots anyhow, at the same time. And these were actually on the back porch. I think they're for candles. I don't even know where they came from, but as you can see, this one here hasn't been treated. This one has. Now, I'm going to zoom in here. The one on the left that was treated, when I first transplanted him and sat him outside, he actually lost his first leaf right there in the storm. Completely regrew it, and he's about 3 inches tall, dark green, as to where the other one is only about 1.5 inches tall, light green, only has 4 branches coming off, where this one has just 4 on the top and several on the bottom, and has a much thicker and straighter and darker stalk growing. And they were seeded at the exact same time, both sprouted at the same time, and I've been testing this fertilizer out with them, and as you can see, it's obviously working. So first things first, the fertilizer itself is actually urine. I saw a couple videos online, people just pouring it right into their gardens, and the one video that really stood out was, I forget his name, he uses it in his flower beds because it actually, the nitrogen and phosphate in it actually makes your flowers bloom a lot brighter with brighter colors and a lot faster. Now, I know what you're probably thinking is urine, that's disgusting. Well, when your body cleans all the sugars and everything out of, and any nutritional value out of anything you drink, and turns it into urine, it is sterile. You can drink it, there's just no nutritional value for people in it. However, it does have ammonia, nitrogen, and phosphates in it, which are all very good for your plants. Anyone that does anything with pepper plants probably knows a trick is to mix a cup of ammonia to about a couple gallons of water and pour it on your pepper plants, because that's something that the peppers need. Nitrogens are something that all your plants need, which is why worm castings and compost works, because there's nitrogen in it. And the phosphates help also. Now, the only problem is if you have a dog, you know if he pees in the same spot in the ground, it kills the grass. That's because the nitrogen is so strong, it'll actually burn the roots off of the grass. But then if you notice, the grass always grows back stronger. Well, that's the other grass next to it reseeding, growing across, and coming back in, because now the nitrogen's been diluted. So what you want to do is, and I'm going to show you here quick, is I've got a 5-gallon bucket here, and I have some urine in it already. I take a half-gallon milk jug, fill it up, which I don't every day, but this is something I do at least 2 or 3 times a week. A 4th-gallon milk jug, pour it in here, and then I usually fill this about with 4.5 to 5 gallons, and that dilutes it pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and fill this up, and then I'm going to take you down to the garden and show you the rest of my plants that I've been fertilizing. Alright, we're down here in the garden now, and as you can see, that's not completely full. I didn't have a full 4th gallon, and I'm sure there's somewhere online you can find a ratio of how much to how much, but I usually triple. So, like I said, I use a half gallon of water, or of a urine, and then I use about 3 to 4 gallons of water. And I'm going to show you here, first things first, these are my tomato plants, which you've seen in the cloning video. And this one on the end are really hard to see. I planted them too close together, and they literally exploded, and I can barely even get through them to trim them. This one on the end, which let me see if I can get a better view here, was the runt, and this is him here, and he's about that tall, which is the same size as these last 3, which now actually you can see pretty good if I back up how these 3 are extremely thick, bushy, growing all over the place, and then the remaining, there's actually 4 there, aren't as thick, bushy, got vines going everywhere, flowers. And we're going to go in here, and that's because these are the 3 that, and I probably won't even be able to water them anymore, is there's actually a soda bottle down there in the ground to help get the mix directly to the roots. Now, let me show you something here. Look how thick that stem is. That stem is rock hard. And that's probably about an inch around. Very sturdy, thick, nice big leaves. And then you come down here to this one, and he's about 3/4 inches around. And I've actually, this one here, he was one of the nicest out of the ones when I planted him. He's leaning over, he's growing into this plant for support. Now, they've all got tomatoes. This one's got about 3. Down here, he's got some really nice sized ones growing about the size of golf balls. Same with this one, he's got a couple here. A little bit bigger than the ping pong ball. If I can get down in here, there's some golf ball size ones down there. Same here. Now this one here was getting part of the nutrients from, there's one of the cups right there. As you can see, he was getting part of the nutrients. He's got a fairly decent tomato. Now when you come over to the ones that I have been treating, if I can even, and I can just see trying to get into these ones to harvest them is going to be a nightmare. I can't really get in there. There's about 5 or 6 right in there, size of ping pong balls. And there's one about almost the size of probably a baseball. I mean, he's nice. And as you can see, there, down here, there's golf ball sized ones. I mean, they really, this one here was the smallest out of all of them, like I said. He's got several right there. These ones here, that one there is a little bit bigger than a golf ball. They're really hard to see. There's a cluster of about 6 of them, and he's grown outside of the cage, which most of these have. Now I've been trimming the suckers off of them, which I cloned in the one video. And let me actually show you the clones, because that's what I'm going to water today with my, well, I might not even water them, but here's the clones. There's one, there's another one. They're all doing pretty decent so far. They haven't died. My radishes I need to pick them. But these ones here, this was the runt of them all, and he's about the same size as what was looking like the best one on the very other far end. And he's just, they're growing tomatoes like nobody's business right now. And they'll be ready here soon, hopefully. And there's a little sucker, pull him off. I'm hoping, because I'm gonna have to do something soon, because they're getting really big. Now, I had also mentioned I had cherry tomatoes. There is 2 rows of 20 of the pears, the yellow pears, which are actually getting some nice cherries on them. And then I had to string up some of these here because they were growing. Actually, and this is something that is pretty cool. You can see here, he's got little white dots on him. He was laying on the ground. He was starting to sprout roots. He was going to grow into the ground. And my cherry tomatoes are just, I'm going to have so many tomatoes I don't know what to do with here soon. One thing here, quick. This is also going to be a slug control video. These are, I forget what kind of strawberries these are. These are the ones you get from the stores and everything. They're the big ones. I ate one of them yesterday. He was a little tough. I don't know why. The big ones have never really been that good tasting to me. I only have 2 of them. This is a slug trap though. They were I mean, literally, the minute they were ripe, the slugs would come in and eat them. It's just a Mountain Dew can or cup down in the water or down ground level, and I put beer in it, and the slugs get attracted to it, drop in, and drown. Because if you don't, they'll eat your strawberries faster than you can pick them. These ones are there's a slug right now on a leaf. Big one too. I have to put some more of these in here because they like I said, they just terrorize your plants. I need to de-weed these. These were from Lowe's, same as the other ones, but these were called All-Stars. And I can't find any cherries because I've eaten all the ones off of them already. But these produce a much smaller strawberry, and I can't even find any that are green. They produce a much smaller strawberry, but they are so sweet. They are probably the best. There's one right there. Look at that. He's ready too. Now that's actually extremely small. I had a couple that were a little bit bigger than this. But they produce a slightly smaller one and a little bit odd shape, but they are the sweetest strawberries I've ever had. And then, as you can see, the slug already started on him and ate the side of him out. I don't blame them because they're delicious. They're just so soft and you don't even need any sugar on them. They're so good. Here's another one. He's not ready though, but these are actually really small. I don't know why. Now, the last thing I was testing with my fertilizer are my sunflowers. These are the only two that made it because they're the only two I transferred. This one wasn't being treated with it, and as you can see, he's about 18, maybe 18 or 17 inches tall. Real flat leaves. It's got two branches coming out in the bottom and then the tops. Here's the one that was treated, and I actually had to put them in the garden and stake them because the other one wasn't really bad, but this one was so root bound that I had to almost break the pot off of him to get him in here. And as you can see, he actually got bent over in a storm, so that's why he's really tied up to that post. Those leaves are a good 4.5 inches wide, long, 2 inches wide. He's got a real thick, heavy, dark stem. Real thick leaves, dark colored. These are mammoths, apparently. They're supposed to get about 14 foot tall. So I just transplanted them. So I'm actually going to water both of them with my fertilizer, and I might put a little bit on to some of my flowers in my flower bed. But I just wanted to do a quick video and show you. It does seem to work really well for me. Anyways, I've had success. That plant there, he's almost 19 to 20 inches tall. Just a much thicker stalk, heavier, darker colors to him. And he seems to be doing really well. Like I said, he got blown over today because he wasn't up against the house and we got hit with a really bad storm earlier. But it seems to be the fertilizer seems to be working really well. And it's almost like you use it just like you would a compost tea. Just pour it directly down around your plants to help feed them. And I only do it about maybe 2 or 3 times a week because I don't collect a lot of urine, or don't try to anyhow. And that's my quick video on the fertilizer, how I mix it up real quick, how easy it is, and some of the results, and just a little bit of my garden. So thanks.